Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to walk through Canva. Today we're going to talk about doing storyboards. So we're going to type in here storyboard and we will see that it gives a suggestion here. So we go ahead and click on there and we are going to choose from some of these different templates that they give us. However, we're going to choose this option today. So this is going to give us a lot more details that would apply when we are creating something for video. So we're going to go ahead and click that option, and that brings us here into our workspace. So our workspace has several different things happening here. If you're sharing this project, you can work in real time, so you can put one or more names of emails of people that you might be working with. We have our option here to download at the end. We can also preview to see how this will look once we download it. But for the most part, we are going to look at what is happening here in our main space. So since this is the project that we're working with, we're going to go ahead and take this template plane, and if we click this button right here, you can see when we hover over it, it says to hide. It also has a quick key for Command or Apple key and backslash. So let's go ahead and click that, and now we can kind of see our entire project happening in front of us. So right now we are working on our first page, and we can clearly add more pages if we'd like to by clicking down here and saying add page. But let's start with what we have going on first. So we have some options. We can click on all these boxes, and the great thing is once you click on this box, then once you double click at it or click for a second time, we start to get the cursor coming in, and that's where we can change something in here if we want to change what is written here, or if we want to change color. So let's just click and highlight, and we want this, instead of to being orange, we can click on that color right here in the text color, and we have a lot of different options here. So let's go with something more green, just for the project name. That's going to help make the project name title stand out a little bit more, and we're going to keep everything else in black for this project. So this is going to be a music video that we are going to be working on, and this music video is called Child of Mississippi. So we are going to go ahead and type in Child of Mississippi music video. Name of the producer, I'm going to go ahead and just put my name on this. And I'm the only one. I could also change this if I wanted to get rid of the S, but for the sake of it, we are just going to leave that alone. I might even add the artist name. So this is Emily White. That is our artist that we are working with on this project. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of my own images, because I've taken some still shots of something that I want to see, and I want to bring that in, and I'm going to give some more detail to it. So some of this stuff is things that you could go and take pictures of, and that represents how you want to shoot this later on. So we're going to take still images and put that into what would later be motion. But for the sake of this project, we're going to take some stills from the original project to help visualize where we were with that, and then we'll walk through some of these different sections. So what we want to do is bring in our own pictures. So we're going to go to upload, and I've already uploaded one image, but I'm going to upload another one, and I'm going to go to upload media, and for this I'm going to choose from the device because I have these saved on my computer itself. You could also connect to Facebook, Google Drive, Instagram, or Dropbox, some of these different cloud services, so that you could pull in images that way. So again, I'm going to click from my device, and I had navigated to my folder already, so you can go through a couple of different steps to be able to find your folder, but wherever you have all of your images together. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to grab all these different images that I have and load these into the system. So these are some of the different shots that we would use to tell our story in the music video. So I'm going to grab this first image, and all I have to do is click and drag it into this box, and it automatically loads it into my storyboard. Once I've loaded this into my storyboard, I can go through some of these different options that it gives me. So I have shot, I have action, camera movement, location, and scene. So the good thing is, in this music video, we shot from a couple of different locations. So I'm going to be able to customize all these different parts. So for this shot, this was a drone shot, so we're going to double click in here and highlight everything and put in drone shot. The action for this shot is to, as it says here, give a full view of the scenery, but we want to fly over Emily in back of truck. So if you zoomed in really close on this image, you'd actually be able to see that Emily was riding in the back of the truck at this time. Our camera movement is drone shot, and our location is field / driveway. So they live out in the country, and so their driveway is surrounded by fields, and so that was our location for this particular shot. Now we go from this wider shot and we start bringing ourselves into the scene a little bit, so we can grab this other image of Emily, and we are going to put that right here in our next shot. So this would be considered a medium shot. So a medium shot is from the waist up of our talent, and our action happening here is Emily riding in the back of truck. And this is going to be a handheld camera movement because it was very difficult to be able to try to get any kind of tripod in that in the back of the vehicle, and so we would need to shoot this handheld. And then we double click again in here and we go to field / driveway once again, and we can click out of there. So a lot of this is just normal text editing once we get into these sections. The nice thing that Canva does is it highlights each little text area and makes it easy so you know what you're editing at the time that you're editing. So what we had done earlier was we had clicked a picture and it had dropped right here into the middle. Again, what we're going to do this time is we're going to click and we're going to drag this shot into this image. And so if you click and hold all of these at one time, it moves it around, and there are some snap tos in here. So if you accidentally pulled it off, access a little bit, you can either hit Command Z to undo it, or if you wanted to change and make these a little bit bigger, you could click down here at the bottom and you can resize all three windows all at one time. We're going to Control Z that. We don't want to make that change at this moment yet. What we can do next is once we click in a shot, so this video was shot at anamorphic, and the setup for these are a 16:9, so what our typical TVs would be. But if I didn't really like the way that this was framing this for storyboard purposes, and I wanted to show this to a client, so maybe I wanted to put Emily, let's say, how she's framed in this shot over here in this long shot. So she is framed right in this. Well, when we get over to the medium shot, she goes to center frame. I don't want her to be center frame quite for this image. So what I'm going to do is double click in there, and it gives me the bars that we use to get the rule of thirds. So these are the rule of thirds bars, and we want to put Emily right here on this corner. We want her face to be in that spot because in composition we want people to kind of fall in these little marks that we get. So when we get the rule of thirds, we see that we have these different points, okay, and those points kind of go away after a minute, but we want Emily to hit in those points. So I could even go back into this shot, and as I move it a little bit, I can see that I want her to fall in that same line. So people's eye line when they're watching this video is they're going to see her here, and when we go to a close-up for a matching, she's going to fall in the same spot. So it's not like we would have Emily all of a sudden over here on this side of the frame, because that would look different from what we had just shot because we're using that at the exact same time. So I want to keep Emily in this part of the thirds. If we need to add another page, so clearly we have a lot of shots that we're going to use for this video, we can easily just click down here, go to add page, and it will create a new page roughly based on what we're using in this. Otherwise, we can go up here and this becomes page 2, and we actually duplicate this. So that is the preferred method when you're doing some of these storyboards, because as we look here with page 3, there's no template built into this. So now we just have this blank canvas, but we want to be able to utilize all the different features that we had in the template that we choose. And so it's better if you go to duplicate page. So again, you can always hover over things and it lets you know different options that you have for it. And we're going to go ahead and grab this page 3, and we're going to delete this page 3 because we don't need that page anymore. So let's go here to our second page. We're just going to add in our last couple of shots. So we go from Emily being on the dock, and now we're going to take her down into the city. So we're going from a close-up, and now we're going to go into a medium long shot. So a medium long shot would be from the knees up, and this was very popular with a lot of westerns back in the 60s and 50s. And so they would call it sometimes the cowboy shot. So it would be a medium long shot. and Emily playing in Dumont Plaza. And again, that would be our location as well, is Dumont Plaza. This helps us kind of get organized with all the different places that we need to go. And this would be static on a tripod. A few more shots left to put in. And we'll just kind of put these in here real quick. We can move Emily again to kind of match up with what happens in this shot. So again, we double click and we make sure that she stays in the framing that we like for those shots. And then our last few shots here are her in the back of the vehicle. And in those shots, we have her center framed. So let's say that we were very happy with how this entire project turned out. Then we want to make sure and go to File and Save. Up here at the very top is where we can change the name of this. So we're going to go to Child of Mississippi, Music Video, Storyboard. So after we do that, we can go ahead and download this project. So we're going to go over here to our option where we have this download icon, and we're going to click the download icon, and we want to go ahead and use the PDF print because we want to have this higher quality. We want to be able to print these off and take them to the next shoot that we go on so that everybody has an idea of what we're looking for. So we're going to go to download. It's going to prepare our design. It's going to bring it all together and create that PDF document. And we're going to click off this box for now. And as you can see here, we have our download of Child of Mississippi. And we're going to go to Open, and within Chrome, Chrome will open that video or that PDF document. So now we can preview our document, and it's also saved to our computer so that we can print it out or send to a client. I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you on creating a storyboard with Canva.